Hey, what's up everybody, Nexel here. So today we are playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and I did want to go over the new avatar boards that just dropped. So these are the Swimsuit avatar boards. It looks like they're giving another one for the 2017 year. They did give us one last year, and let's take a good look at them. So they come with the swim cap, the goggles, a fashionable bag, as well as the swimsuit itself. Now, let's go into really what makes these avatar boards worthwhile, and it's going to be the things they come with. So, as we can see here, we have a trio of skills plus a speed gem coming to us. So the speed gems are always good, especially since currently the best Keyblades that are out right now are the Proud Mode Keyblades as well as the Divine Rose. So since the Divine Rose uses speed gems, if you need more speed gems to buff up your Divine Rose, this is another opportunity for you to get one of them and hopefully push you closer to the Divine Rose with that ×3 multiplier. Now let's go ahead and talk about really what people buy these avatar boards for, which is going to be the skills. So the first skill that we have here is Attack Boost 4 and Attack Prize Plus. This skill, in my opinion, is sort of outdated because ever since Illustrated Kairi 2 and Illustrated Vivi came into the scene, those are the gauge restoring medals, you don't really need Attack Prize Plus bonuses, unfortunately. Now, with that being said, I personally haven't used Attack Prize Plus in a long time, just because I've had Illustrated Kairi 2, I've had Illustrated Vivi, they have been gauge restoring medals. I did roll into extra attack for that Illustrated Vivi, so it is restoring 10 gauges for me. And 10 gauges per turn is usually enough to keep my setup going continuously without ever needing to tap or swipe, meaning I'm able to activate the skill every single time. So 10 gauges is enough to do that. But, I did test using Attack Prize Plus again on the Coliseum Snowman. So I used my Jack and Sally, which has Attack Boost 2, Attack Prize Plus, and it did restore a lot of gauges. So for those of you that don't have Illustrated Kairi 2 or Illustrated Vivi to restore gauges, just know that Attack Prize Plus still is a valid skill to have. So you can put it on any AoE or a single target medal, still get a lot of prizes back, especially since it's paired with Attack Boost 4. You can deal more damage, get more prizes back, and essentially keep your Keyblade going even if you don't have gauge restoring medals. So Attack Prize Plus is still viable. I used it on a level 750 Snowman. If it works against a 750 Snowman, it is guaranteed to work against other Heartless. And with Attack Boost 4, that is a huge plus to the medal. So if it's an attack medal, if it's AoE, let's say for example, and this is just for example, normally it's not the skill I would give, for Sora Art EX or Cloud EX or Axel EX, this would be a good skill if you don't have certain other skills, just because it's an Attack Boost 4 and it has some utility to it. So you could definitely give this skill to medals like that, where again they hit all the enemies, they do a lot of damage, so you want to give them that damage, but you also want to give them the utility of restoring gauges. So that's Attack Boost for Attack Prize Plus. Moving on to the second one, which is going to be pretty much the main reason you're going to want to buy this avatar board. So Second Chance 2. This skill alone is worth buying the avatar board if you don't have something that has Second Chance 2 on it already. Second Chance absolutely changed the way that people had to play this game, and it changed the way people had to go about certain missions. So for example, during the high score challenges back in the day before Second Chance was a medal in the game, pretty much high score challenges were based on how much you spend into the game, how much you can get those bonus medals, how much you can knock out all the enemies. But with Second Chance 2, you're able to keep going even if you get knocked out once per battle. So not even once per entire mission, but once per battle. So that changed how people did the high score challenges, because friends in a guild would share a bonus medal with Second Chance on it. And the way it worked is that when you go through the high score challenges, if you get knocked out, if you have Second Chance activate, you get to keep going. So let's say you did a lot of damage to the enemy on your one turn that you had, and then it was just so powerful it knocked you out. Second Chance 2 buys you that second turn in order to knock out that enemy. And for most people, that second turn was enough to knock them out. So, Second Chance changed the way people did high score challenges because it allowed them to keep playing, it allowed them to keep fighting, and it allowed them to keep scoring points. So Second Chance is really, really great for high score challenges. It's great for Union Cross, especially with the bonus times. The way they're doing bonus times lately has just been sticking out some crazy, super strong boss or set of enemies against you that'll likely knock you out regardless of what your setup is. Unless you have some sort of crazy Hainer, Pencilette, Pooh, Tigger, and Rabbit setup going for you, where your defense is so high, pretty much they're just like the Heartless hitting you is the equivalent of someone throwing a rock at like a fortress, you know, it's just gonna dink right off. Unless you have that, Second Chance 2 is good for Union Cross because it allows you to keep fighting, it buys you a second turn. So let's say you're the tank of the party, let's say you're the attacker. If you get knocked out, Second Chance buys you another turn without needing to heal you, without someone needing to use a medal to heal you and bring you back. So that's a good way of dealing a lot of damage without needing to add a defensive medal like Hainer, Pencilette, or Pooh, Tigger, and Rabbit in. Second Chance 2 buys you another turn, and then at the end of that second turn, they heal you, and then you go again, you get 2 more turns, and then that second time, they just have to heal you twice. So having Second Chance buys you an extra turn, prevents you from being a tank that gets knocked out so frequently that you need to be healed a lot. If you're the healer of the group, Second Chance 2 provides you more chances to heal. So let's say you're new. Let's say you go into Union Cross, you know you don't really stand a chance against the enemy, so you rely on your party members to do a lot of damage for you. So in that case, you're healing. It is your job to tap on those friends when they get knocked out in order for them to deal more damage. Second Chance 2 allows you to get knocked out, to be revived, and to keep healing, to keep doing your job without needing to be healed yourself. Because if you've watched anime, if you've watched any sort of video game, things like that, the most important part is if you let the healer die, then you're screwed. Then pretty much you could be all the tankiest tanks you want. If the enemy is bigger than you and you don't have a healer, that's it. You're done, unless you get lucky. So Second Chance 2, it's good for tanks in Union Cross, it's good for healers in Union Cross. It has a super high percentage activation rate. I believe it's somewhere in the range of like 67, 70, something like that. And then you tack on the skill perks and pretty much you're reviving every single turn. So Second Chance 2, fantastic skill. That alone, I think, is a good reason to buy this avatar board. Moving on to the next skill, which is a new one, SP Attack Gauge 0. So this skill is very, very particular because when you look at it, you think like, hey, I can make a 6 gauge medal cost 0 now. But hear me out here, this skill is really only good for buffers. Because when you think about really high gauge medals like Master Xehanort or Syx B or Xemnas B, all those medals have high gauges, but they're also very strong attackers. Meaning that for those medals, you'd rather put on a skill like Attack Boost 3 Max SP Gauge 1, Attack Boost Max 4 SP Gauge 2, stuff like that because you want to maximize their damage while at the same time decreasing their gauge cost. So this skill, I would not put it on something that was meant to attack. Even if that medal costs a lot of gauges, I would rather put an Attack Boost, you know, X blank on that medal in order for it to do more damage. Putting attack gauge, an SP attack gauge 0 on something that's meant to do damage kind of feels like a waste in my opinion. But that's up for you guys to decide. If you really, really just need that medal to have 0 cost, that's really, really good. The reason I think it's good for buffers is because if you have a buffer that has double cast on it, it guarantees that you get both of those casts off. So let's say, for example, Hainer Pencilette. That medal costs 4 gauges to use. Now, I personally put SP Gauge 1 on that guy, but this would be a better candidate, and this is why. So when you go into a medal, you have to have the appropriate amount of gauges, even if it has an SP Attack Gauge 0 skill on it. So for Hainer Pencilette, that's 4 gauges. If you go into that medal with 3 gauges, the game will not let you activate it, regardless of whether you have SP Attack Gauge 1, SP Attack Gauge 2, SP Attack Gauge 0. You don't get the activation, and it's essentially useless to you for the turn. With SP Attack Gauge 0, if you go into that medal with 4 gauges, you get both casts off. So again, having that 0 cost guarantees that second cast, and that's really, really useful for buffer medals, just like Hainer Pencilette, Pooh Tigger and Rabbit, 0.2 Kyrie. Having those with extra attack and SP Attack Gauge 0 makes them very, very powerful, because you guarantee, if you go into that medal with the right amount of gauges the first time, you guarantee that second cast is going to go off, and that is very, very powerful. So in my situation, if I went into that medal with a 4 gauges left, it cost 4 gauges, I used SP Attack 1 on it, I'd lose the 1 gauge, I'd be at 3 gauges, and the game would not let me get that second cast. SP Attack Gauge 0 guarantees that second chance. That's why I think this skill is particularly useful for buffer medals and not necessarily attack medals. So that's my evaluation of the skills. Let's go ahead and look at the rest of the avatar board. So there is a skill perk 3 that comes on this. Now, a lot of people who have been playing the game since day 1 already have the maximum amount of skill perks, either at 21 for the guys or 24 for the girls, I believe. I believe the girls got an earring with one of the bell avatar boards that the guys didn't get. So the girls technically have a higher skill perk plus maximum. But if you didn't get those, if you're a newer player, if you just missed a few of the skill perks, this is a good way to get one. I want to say it's for the arm, but I can't guarantee it without actually buying the avatar board. So skill perks, always nice. It guarantees, not guarantees, but increases your chances of things like pretty much all the skills above minus SP Attack Gauge 0 going off. So it increases the chance of second chance 2, it increases the chance of attack boost 4, attack price plus. So unless you have like max skills, then this is certainly a good thing to have, is more skill perks. Here are the rest of the medals that the avatar board comes with, as well as the skills and the titles that come with it as well. And I did take a look earlier. The avatar boards do come at the cost of 2,500 jewels, which is really, really good, because when you compare it to a pull, when you compare it to a metal pull, that's 3,000 jewels for RNG to pretty much come in and let you know if you got something good. With the avatar boards, you guarantee what you're getting, you know what you're getting, it's exactly what you want if you need it, so there's no debating whether or not it's going to be useful to you. And it's just a good guarantee. Having guarantees in a game that relies a lot on RNG is really, really good. So this avatar board definitely fills a lot of strategy gaps for people that don't have things like second chance or the gauge restoring medals. But with that being said, that is my thoughts on the new avatar boards. If you guys need them, feel free to get them. They do look super awesome, and I think that the skills on them are worth having if you know, lack certain parts of gameplay. So that's my review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to throw them in the comment section below, and I will get to them as soon as I can. I do have college coming back up for me, so unfortunately I might not be able to make as many videos, but I will try my best to reply to your guys' questions and comments. So that's it, guys. I am out for the night, and until the next video, take it easy.